Hello, everyone. This market is beyond impressive to not even pull back when everything is against you. Breadth, new highs, new lows, starting to contract a little bit. NAAIM almost at 100 the previous week, which fell down significantly this week, which is great. Put call ratio complacent, you name it. The negative divergences that were showing up in my tickets indicator, I mean, there were reasons galore for the market to pull, and yet here we are at new all time highs on the QQQ. And actually, the one indicator that tells me that maybe the slog, because it's been hit and miss on my side. Now, the good news is I've been fully invested, fully on margin before this rough trading period kind of really started here on the 21st. But on the 21st, I got a new long signal in a stock that I took a huge position in that basically put me at that 200% long level on the swing side. And since then, the market has chopped around, drifted higher. This indicator went below the zero line, stayed below the zero line the whole time we were kind of chopping around. But then when we started to move higher again, this indicator remained below the zero line. However, today, after Thursday, I should say, it is back above the zero line. Things are looking good. I would love to see the QQQ pull back to this 50 SMA on the hourly time frame. This indicator to keep building, and maybe if the QQQ does pull back, it pulls back. And as long as this indicator is above zero, if the QQQ goes below the 50 SMA on the hourly time frame, it is a buy on a reclaim of the 50 SMA. But it's great to see that Ticketz indicator that we have, that's an internal indicator that we use. It's great to see it finally cross above the zero line. Now we would just love to see a retest to work off the short-term froth and be on our ways. And this cross happened on the QQQ, SPY, IWM, and let's not forget our lead time frame, the daily. We're good here. The Ticketz indicator remained strong the entire time that we were even consolidating sideways. And on a weekly time frame, once again, we're confirmed here. We're above the zero line. We had the slingshot at the end of April. I would love to see this increase in strength, but I tell you what, if we get a rate cut in July, we have literally everything aligned. Constant bad news, wall of worry to climb, interest rate cuts. There's only one key ingredient missing to basically just say that, oh, yeah, man, any setup I get, I'm all in on every setup. I'm already like that. So, like I said, I've been 200% long. So, anytime I am getting a rare signal because of the way this market is, so many stocks are extended short term and or are not symmetrical to their basing pattern. Like here, if you would have gotten this cup here and then we just would have gone sideways for this length of time that we've been drifting higher, you have a nice symmetrical cup with handle. But I just can't get that. So most of the price action, just like here, remains far away from the 50 SMA. I love to buy near the 50 SMA or reclaims of the 50 SMA, especially when this indicator is strong. But when you're so far extended from it, it's hard to have new purchases, have that conviction. Oh, I'm going to go all in and I know this setup's going to work. You never know any setup's going to work, but it's really hard when you're this far extended from the 50 SMA and you're this far extended from the 21 EMA. So keep that in mind. I would love to see the market pull back, but everything looks good. And on that note, in the short term, what I'm talking about is that, listen, I've messed up this rally. I should be this is from my weekly squeeze scan. That's why this line's here. When this built out this cup with handle, I told everybody I was doing a buy stop here. But when it gapped up, I canceled it. And it's run without me. I told everybody, buy stop on Roblox above this high. But I didn't think the handle was symmetrical enough to go ahead and do it. So I wanted a few more days and it breaks out and it's gone. These are two very large purchases because if you look at the earnings and sales growth of Roblox and CRS, they're very strong, over 20% each. These are high quality names. Everybody should be familiar with Carpenter Technologies. Look at the price of this stock. Look at the price of Roblox. So it's extremely high quality merchandise. Then let's not forget RDVT gave me an amazing buy signal using my swing setup, which I consider signals, before it even broke out of this base from my weekly squeeze scan. But you can't go long ahead of earnings. It's too risky. Another one that did that was BBW. Enters my weekly squeeze scan right ahead of earnings. Nothing I can do. Then there's Chewy, which I was looking to get long for my weekly squeeze scan if it could build a handle. Never got that handle. Then there's EAT. I got the early pocket pivot point signal here, but I got too cute with my limit orders and I missed this move. So I have mismanaged this uptrend severely. But that being said, still in long stocks like Dash and Spot. These are like the two heaviest positions I have. You can see when the first long signal was way back here. But Dash and Spot were basically around the same time frame. And this is what helped me get that fully margined out long. And since then, we've had new long signals in big wave trading that are working. AXON, 3 days, it's up 3%. No huge home run, but it is working right away. That being said, you see where the 50 SMA is. Do you think that if I would have a lot of capital on hand, I would put it all in AXON with that setup? No, it's a little too extended. But besides AXON, we have another leader that gave me a long signal, SOFI. So I went long this stock. And so far, it's been pretty much perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. We got a 12% gain almost in 6 days in this one. So these are working. But at the same time, I got a long signal in A lab and it triggers and fills me in even though it gapped up. And technically, you don't want to get long gap ups unless you don't want to get long gap ups over 1% of the limit offset. A lab did not gap up over 1% of that limit offset. So it triggered and filled me in and immediately failed. And what has it done since then? A complete rebound. Whippy, whippy, whippy. WRB. Now listen, I told everybody it's an insurance stock, but this is a leader. This is a leading insurance stock. Great numbers. And once again, it hasn't worked out immediately. Now you see the white triangle is still there because the final end of day sell signal is with a close below this low. So it's been a little choppy in the very short time frame of it all. So it's not, and it happens to coincide with that negative divergence. To me, it feels like the market was just working off all of those overbought situations. It remains overbought, but we're about to get a golden cross in the SPY. We already got a golden cross in the QQQ. And if you look at the 1 month yield on the treasury notes, it's dipping lower. Each time the Fed has cut rates this year, that 1 month treasury yield has declined going into the announcement. It's rolling over again. The interest rate return level is decreasing, which means we should expect a rate cut in July. And for Jerome Powell's sake, I hope we get that cut. But as long as we're this extended from the 50 SMA, it's a chase market. So I'm being very careful with new long positions here overall. But you can see all of the stocks in this list that are still longs on an end of day signal. If we look at the reports, watch list trackings, you can see that out of all of the names that have not triggered that sell signal, you can go, we'll do the date added. We can go here, see everything that's been added since the market got kind of wonky, and you'll see the percent returns. The losses are small for the ones that are losers. The gains are good for the ones that are winners. This is wrong. ALTS, I did not add this into the system after we went long immediately. It is actually up 12%, not down 14%. But still, you can see there's a lot of losses in here compared to gains, and there really isn't any huge gains except for BBAI. And then also in this list should be, there it is, QUBT. You can see QBT is up 33%, and my very long position in Dash, very heavy position I'd say, is up 18%. Now, if you look at the stocks from when they were earlier longs, you can see they're up huge, right? Huge gain still on an end-of-day basis. Doesn't mean it's still with the full position. That's not how this works. It's not how I trade. It's not that kind of market. And you're like, how are you this long this stock that's negative 16%? Really quick, I'll show you. KITT was a new long back here. Once I had my gains, my loss went to break even. shaken out of the stock here, dipped here, never closed below this low, which was the final stop loss level, kept the green bop. And if you were actually better than me at holding this stock, at one point you were up 376%. ALTS is the same way. This is when we went long here at the highs. It was up 42%. Now it is up 12%. So or 13%. So like I said, it's still been a good market. Quarterly portfolios are actually beating the overall market this quarter, despite me picking the wrong cybersecurity stock. I had 3 names on my final list, and I picked the one that gapped down after earnings. That being said, quarterly portfolios still outpacing the S&P 500 this quarter. Long-term portfolios are all at new highs because my 2 largest positions, NVIDIA and AVGO, are at new all-time highs. My forever holds added to that, TSM, all-time high. Palantir decided to pull back today, and now we just got to wait for Tesla to get moving. But long, quarterly, swing position, everything's going well. I have no complaints, even with all the chop in the short term, with the new long position. So this evening, I have 2 very speculative long positions. One is extended from its 50 SMA. The other one is very thin. One has a 97 composite rating. One has a 90 composite rating. They are both, though, overall too thin for me to give out publicly to everyone. I do have one buy stop I want to call on from my weekly squeeze scan. So let's go down to that. Here, finally got another one in the daily squeeze scan, by the way, AKRO, but is it in a base? No. So I have to let it base out for at least 5 days now that it's in this weekly squeeze scan. More importantly, in the weekly, the 9 has to be above the 21, above the 50, above the 200. These 3 indicators have to be green. And on a daily, the 9 has to be above the 21, 50, 200, 500 EMA for this particular scan, and in at least a medium squeeze. The last stock that did that was TMC. However, this stock didn't show up in that daily squeeze scan until this day. Don't know why it didn't show up earlier, because here it is. It's got the red dots on the weekly. It's got the green lines. I have a couple of conditions in there that I believe I need to remove. Had that been in the case, buy stop above this high, TMC, it's working well. That's a long way of showing you guys how it works. Here's what's currently in my weekly squeeze scan, active weekly squeeze scan. And this is the trade I'm actually going to take in the main account on Monday. So LKNCY, I know this chart's noisy, and I'm going to get rid of all this in a minute, but this is what I like to use. So I have a volatility contraction pattern forming here. One low, lower low, lower low. I have a series of 3 lower lows, kind of has a bull flag forming out on it. The problem with this stock is it's Luckin Coffee. Listen, it's a fundamentally sound stock now. It isn't the old Luckin Coffee. Has a 99 earnings per share rating and a 92 relative strength, but it's over the counter bulletin board. And just these 3 bars right here, this one with this tail, this one with this tail, and this one with this tail, will prevent me from getting, let's say that I had, let's say that I was trading with $1 million and I had $500,000 to trade with. I wouldn't put the $500,000 into this one. It's over the counter bulletin board. It's Chinese, but we do have a flag pattern building. I'm going to go to this here so I can just show you what everything looks like without all the gobbledygook on it. This is just the volume bars. This is just the price action. I was hoping that today's high of day was lower than this high. It is not. I'm going to do a buy stop above this high. I'm not going to keep stops on the book, but if it closes below this 50, this is the EMA. I'm going to use the 50 SMA. That will be my final stop on this buy stop. So I'm going to do a buy stop above today's high of the day, the 50 SMA, not EMA. I believe this is the EMA. I can probably change it for this one since it's a different. Oh, it is simple. Okay. So we'll have it close below here, and then I'll cut my loss on this one. But that's my only real stock trade heading into Monday. It's Luckin Coffee from my weekly squeeze scan, but it is over the counter bulletin board. It is Chinese. It will be available to me at Interactive Brokers. I'm going to give it a shot. But is it a Roblox? Is it a Carpenter? Is it a Brinkers International? Is it a DoorDash? Is it an Uber? Is it a Spotify? I think the answer is apparent.